And we are live. Hello, hello. We'll give it a few seconds. Hello. I have my YouTube pulled up, so hopefully it will.
It never matches with this because it's always like we're live and then mine never loads.
Oh no, I think we're live. Let us know, people, if you can. Oh, I can hear us 2 seconds behind.
Because mine still says waiting.
Does it?
Mine says live.
Oh, now
it's live.
Okay, now it does. I just had to but it's behind where we are. I don't know.
Well, I'm pretty sure we're live. So hello, everyone. Hi, Justin. Hi, Natasha. Hello. We are here to talk about Untamed by Elizabeth Lowell. I don't have the pretty cover, and I'm so jealous of the three of you.
Mine is a beat up old library copy.
It's so gorgeous. I have this weird orange copy. Sad about it. But anyways, so we're going to talk about it, and I'll let you guys introduce yourselves, and you can kind of just talk a little bit about your rating. I know all of us were undecided with the rating, so go ahead, Dana.
Hi, my name is Dana. I don't know. I finished it 20 minutes ago. It's not a new favorite or anything, and it's not the worst thing I've ever read. It was 90s medieval historical romance at its finest, I think. And that's where I'm leaving it at. Don't make me make decisions.
I thought it would feel more medieval, though. I don't know what I was expecting, because I don't know if I've read a lot of medieval, and it didn't feel.
No, there wasn't a lot of outer plot that made it feel medieval.
No.
Yeah.
I was like, we're in Scotland. We could be in Scotland in any year. Is what it felt like. So
maybe the type of castle they were in was very medieval, but other than that. I don't know.
Was it any different than the Maya Banks? Are those medieval? Is that with Highlander?
No, those are just Highlander, I think.
Right, and it felt like the same. So I don't know.
Yeah, true.
I don't know the classification. You want to go? Sorry, I didn't know if you were going to talk.
No, you're good. I shouldn't introduce. My name is Tori. Middle's Novel Life. I forgot. I got so caught up. I was like, I have to do a freaking rating for this. I think I'm going to give it 3.5, 4 stars. I go back and forth. Because Dana said, it wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the best. It says at the beginning, the spring of the reign of King Henry I. And I'm like, when the hell was that?
Are they not in Scotland?
Well, it says Northern England, but at that time, does that mean Scotland? Northern England as in Scotland?
I don't know. I have a sticker right over where it looks like it says Scotland on the back, and I don't want to.
Yeah, it says
Northern England.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, it was good. I enjoyed it. I listened to the audio actually of this one, and the only thing that was very medieval was the way that they talked. It was a little different than the other historicals because this was my first medieval I think that I've ever read. So yeah, it was good, but it wasn't the worst historical I've ever read.
Okay, that's fair. I will link all of the lovely ladies' Instagram and their YouTube down below so you can follow them. I just finished this maybe an hour or two ago. Thank goodness for the audiobook. It was really, really slow in the beginning. The entire time I was reading it, I was like, oh, you know what? This is a 3-star. There's nothing that's inherently wrong with the book, nothing problematic, but it's just not exciting. But then I really, really like the ending. So I'm torn between a 3.5. I'm gonna be like Justin. I'm gonna round up to 4, but it's really a 3.5. So there we go.
It says Scotland in the summary. That's why I said Scotland. He's returned to Scotland in glory and triumph to claim his reward. I don't know when Scotland became Scotland, though.
I don't know either.
Because her people were the Normans, or was he the Norman?
No, he was a Norman invader.
They were somewhere in that area, but I think that kind of attests to there wasn't very much description on where we were. It could have fit in multiple different time periods. It didn't feel as medieval as Kingdom of Dreams by Judith McNaught. That's the only one I can kind of reference it to.
That's what I was thinking of, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was good though.
But they had jousting, which is also in Kingdom of Dreams. That's medieval. So
the Glen Druid stuff, that was them talking about the witches, and it felt very feudal in the people and the keep, and So that was the medieval thing for me.
That's true. Okay, so a lot of like 3.5 stars. So we all kind of felt the same about the book. Did you guys read the book or did you listen to the audiobook?
I physically read it.
Oh, okay. I went half.
I had the physical. I had the physical and I tried to start, but I guess because it was like slower, I was like, I'm not getting it. But the narration helped. So I finished it with the audiobook and that was like pretty good. The narrators were weird. Like the way she voiced things was weird. But I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah, she voiced things really, really weird. I had to switch back to the physical because like during the steamy bits when like the narrator, it was just really uncomfortable. Like I couldn't listen to her and take her seriously.
It was really weird. That part was weird. Like her voice was not like, yeah.
Yeah, I also listened to the audio on AnyPlay. I had no idea what this was. And then Crystal told me about it, that this audio was on there, and it was pretty good. So the narrator was weird, but it got me through the book, so it's fine.
So I'm stuck on the Scotland thing. I just looked it up. So this says that Scotland became a country in the 9th century, but its present border with England did not take shape until 13th century.
Okay.
But I guess like Scotland has always been there.
But it doesn't say what century this book is. It just says King.
It just says when King Henry the First. That's also weird because normally they say the year.
Does it say it in the epilogue, maybe? Sometimes they say the year in the epilogue. Oh, no, it doesn't.
I mean, 1993. What are you doing here?
So he was King of England from 1100 to 1135. So,
I didn't realize it was that far long ago. So
yeah.
Who says you can't learn things from romance?
Right?
Well, there's been a million King Henrys, so it makes sense he was that far away.
But that's true. Now that I think about it, like I can grab any historical romance, and the very first chapter, they tell you the exact year
Not when who was king. I don't know what year the King Henry the First was king.
That's so funny.
I had to look it up.
Yeah, that is a beautiful thing.
Kingdom of Dreams mentions what king it is as well, so maybe that's a medieval thing.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe that's just like how they told, not like how they told what year it was, but they would like mark things by like whoever the
monarch
was.
Yeah. Well, because I think that's so normal, I guess, in like England, because like they know when Queen Victoria and Queen Elizabeth
That's
and like
true.
and like the Victorian era is because of Queen Victoria, so it's like they're very much like monarch.
That's true.
I can't relate. I don't know American president, so it's not like we like say, oh, it was the 80s and that was when who was president in the 80s? I don't know. I wasn't alive, so I don't know. Who was president in the 80s? I don't.
Oh my God. Pick me.
I'm a weird person like that though.
You do know?
What, the president in the 80s? Jimmy Carter?
Yeah. I just said Carter. I was right. Okay. I knew. Okay. So I don't know.
One of them. Yeah, one of them.
But you like that stuff, so
I do. Yeah, I took a whole like
I
U.S.
think Reagan was one too.
Yeah, I took a whole U.S. president class in college. Like I'm a nerd. Like, yeah.
We're learning new things. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we pretty much all kind of felt the same about like the reading experience. It was really, really slow in the beginning. Picked up towards the end. What did you guys think of our hero? Did you like him? Did you not like him?
He wasn't overbearing.
Right. Okay. Tori has very strong thoughts.
I liked him, but my thing was, dude, she wasn't with like the other guy. I'm like, just alone.
Yes. The jealousy was a little much.
That was my one thing. I was like, you're great. Like you treat her like pretty well, like none like, weird stuff. Like I'm gonna push you to do things. But that one thing, I'm like, just believe her. Just believe her.
Especially after they like fought and then she was like helping him because she's the healer and he's like, oh, you like him. I'm the healer. I'm doing my job. Yeah. That was annoying.
Yeah.
And even after they did, and he realized she was a virgin, and then he's like, but I can never trust you from here on out because that was the only time I could trust you. Like, my dude, like, come on.
Who hurt you in, like, I don't know, years ago? Like, what? Why? Why do you have this jealousy thing?
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. How old was he?
I would put him like near 30s because
he was 19.
Yeah, that's pretty typical of historical romance. But I mean, he had this whole like he had been trapped in like Jerusalem for a while, and he had been through like a couple wars. So I feel like he had to be like at youngest like 28. But I don't know if they ever mentioned it in the book.
No.
No.
And he had to have like relationships during that time. So that
he was with that Marie chick. Although I will say, some of the historical romances that I've read that were published earlier, like having a mistress, even like during the time of like the romance taking place, was very normal. So I did like that, even though he was jealous, like his first thought wasn't to like immediately go to like that Marie chick and like make her jealous or get revenge or whatever. Like, although he was very, very like possessive, I did like how he didn't have a mistress during that time. That made me happy. Yeah, I feel like her carrying Duncan's child, that was just like a lack of plot. It could have been cut in half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then that made it slow burn because then he didn't want to actually like consummate their marriage until after she had her period, which was like, that was annoying how obsessed he was. Well, until you're bleeding, I'm like, oh my God.
She never had her period.
Never. And I was like, how much time is passing?
I was thinking that. I was like, how long have they been together? It has like a less than a month.
Yeah.
It had to have been.
Yeah.
Because she never got her period.
No.
So it's like she's not pregnant. So it's only been like 2 weeks.
Well,
Was anyone else, okay, I don't want to do like too much of a spoiler for people who didn't finish the book, but was anyone else hoping like this chick was going to give birth to a girl? Like, do not give birth to a son. Like the first one, let it be a girl just to mess with him.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know about that. I just knew it was going to be a son.
Oh, I knew, but I was just like,
So funny.
please be a girl.
That was that obsession. It's like, do you know the chances are 50-50 here this whole time? It could be either or, but magic.
Magic.
I did like the magic. Like I like historicals that have a kind of like a curse or something. I thought that was fun.
Yeah. That was good.
I haven't read a lot of them with like curses or like the magical-esque type thing, or even though she was like magical, but she was just like a witch or whatever that healed people. I did think it was cool that they like would throw stuff in there. Like she's like, I feel something about to happen, like something bad or this or that. It was cool. It gave it like a mysterious aspect to me. I felt like that.
Yeah, I feel like it was pretty unique in that aspect.
I like that the curse kind of reminded me of like Beauty and the Beast, where it was like, in the end, like it was like who loved who was like falling in love was like the important thing here of like breaking the curse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. Yes, for him to be happy about the girl, like he would get another witch. That's what I wanted, and then he could get his boy. But I mean,
have some girls.
They did have some girls, but I just wanted the girl to be first. You know,
how many children did they have? Because it's like, oh well, the boys went here and all the girls are here, and I'm like, do you have like 10 kids? I mean, probably
A whole brood.
during that time, probably. Oh, Marie continues in the series. That's really interesting.
Oh.
Like, is Simon getting a book?
Exactly. That was my next question. Does his brother get a book? Oh, how exciting! Have we met the heroine?
And I liked Duncan. Like, I ended up liking Duncan because he wasn't actually trying to kill him, right?
I don't know. He would have married her, and that was just weird to me. So I didn't like it.
That whole reveal was kind of fun, though.
The fact that they were supposed to get married and they thought they were half siblings, and then they're not. But like the fact that they did ask the king for permission and they were thinking they were half siblings. Oh, Duncan gets book 2.
Oh, it is book 2? Oh, wow.
Amber is the heroine.
It's an enemies to lovers romance. Okay. And who's
he gets amnesia?
Simon gets book 3. Okay. All right. We'll have to finish that series.
I like an amnesia romance, so that's exciting.
I haven't read many. Which ones do you like, Jess?
Oh, for amnesia romances?
Mm-hmm.
I only read a few. I think I've read 3. Someone to Watch Over Me by Lisa Kleypas is really good. Once More, My Darling Rogue is really funny because she is like really rich and he's self-made, and he finds her because like someone tried to kill her or something, and so he tells her that she's his maid, and she acts like his maid and like helps him bathe and like does all these chores for him, and she's really wealthy. And then I read a Mary Jo Putney one, which wasn't as good, and I don't remember. Loving a Lost Lord, I think was what that one was called. Yeah.
I think the only one I read was a Judith McNaught one, and I gave that one really low rate. But that's because it's Judith McNaught. So I just
Until You. Which one?
Yes,
okay.
I think it's called Until You, and it was awful. Like the entire time, the hero had a mistress, and I was just livid the entire book. Not good. It was not good.
I really liked Vivian Loret's How to Forget a Duke. That one was really good because she was like supposed to be matchmaking him, and he was like a poor duke. And then he like obviously tricks her, and she doesn't know that who he is and all that.
I didn't know that one was Amnesia.
Was it Kingdom of Dreams?
Right.
Is that the book you liked? Because I feel like that's the only one that people like. Oh, that's so funny. And what's disappointing is I read that book first, so I had like these very high expectations. And then it all went downhill.
That's the only one I read by her, right?
Yep.
Read one? We read one together, right?
Yeah, what was the Once and Always?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Kingdom of Dreams. So if anyone's looking for a Judith McNaught book, it's Kingdom of Dreams, medieval time, and then you can just skip everything else.
But I remember, wasn't she like 17? And she's like, I'm a spinster. And I'm like, you're literally 17.
I know, she's 19, and in this book, Untamed, she's 19, and they're like, how do you not know like all of these like sexual innuendos? You're 19. And I was like, she's a baby. Leave her alone. Leave the poor girl alone.
I don't think, did they say she was 19 in the beginning? Because I must have missed that, because I was like halfway through and they're like, oh, she's 19. I was like, since when is she 19? I thought she was older as I was reading it.
Yeah.
I think the first time I remember seeing it like on page was when she was talking to Marie, like when she was getting her dress sewn. Mm-hmm. Because I think before that she just kept saying like, oh, by now I would be married with children. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if they gave like a specific age other than that one time.
What did you think of her dad?
Jerk. I can't even.
Yeah, pretty much. Just like he was just not good. Not good.
Felt like he died very abruptly though.
You think he was like poisoned or something?
Oh no, I don't know. It was just like he was there and all of a sudden, oh, he's dead, and now like you're gonna go off and like be with. I mean, isn't that why he wanted her to get married in the first place though? Because they needed someone to take over them.
Yeah. But it was like the curse was so sad to think like all they needed to get was a boy was for like someone to love them. I'm like, you're telling me like out of hundreds and hundreds of years, not one person was like nice to these girls? Like, that's really sad. I loved his dramatic death after cursing Dominic. Although Dominic was just like, you're old. Let's just keep going with the festivities.
I
the
love
narration. Oh. Sorry, you can go.
No, you go.
I was just saying the narration during that part, it was so weird because it's just one narrator. I think it was recorded back in like 2008 is when it was released. So it's an older audio, but her voice was just like so weird during that part. Like she was trying to do different voices. It didn't work out like the best because I was like, why does she sound like this possessed like person right now?
Yes.
Oh, it was like the old dying man.
Yes, it was so weird.
And when she was having like those dreams of something bad happening, the narrator would change into this like demon possessed voice. I was listening to it at like 3:00 in the morning and I was like, what is going on?
Oh man.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so were we surprised by who the villain was at the end? Were you guys surprised or no?
I was.
Okay.
Yes, I think.
I didn't expect that Rufus guy because they didn't mention him at all until the end. Mm-hmm. But when her handmaiden gave him the drink and was like, no, you have to drink first. I was like, you're sketch girl. I'm watching you. I am watching you.
That is true. But she like was so adamant. She's like, no, it wouldn't be her. So like she's loyal to me or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think she was just too positive because she was defending everyone, Duncan and her, and yeah.
Okay, but it was so cute when like they were trying to ransom her, and then like the whole town came together. And they're like, "Here's money. I love her. Here's money. Save her." I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I really like that. And the little boy with his dog.
Yeah.
Yes, the heroine was an actual angel. I really liked her.
Mm-hmm. I'm not good at figuring things out when I read because I don't read to like figure things out.
Yeah.
I don't know, so I don't usually see things coming unless it's pretty obvious.
I had a feeling because I don't know, the handmaiden was just, she seemed like very jealous and like, I don't know, the way she talked about her hero, I was like, you're doing something sketch on the side. But when they brought up that like Rufus guy, I was like, who is that again? Like, I had to go back to see if they mentioned him, and they didn't. So I was like, that's kind of random that they just threw him in there.
I feel like too in the beginning she was like always trying to like off flirting and stuff and like gossiping and like it's like, oh, do we really like you? I don't know.
But then she's like, "Oh, you're the one who's spreading the rumors about me and Duncan," and I'm like, "Is this really what you're mad about? Like that's what your husband already thought." I don't know. I thought that was funny that she was mad at that her doing that.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel like the heroine didn't help herself when it came to the rumors. Like, she could have easily been like, hey, I'm leaving to go help this girl with a birth. Or, like, she could have been more communicative. Like, she was very just like, I'm not sleeping with him. Oh, well. I don't know. He was too possessive, but I don't know how to explain it.
Well, because he did lock her up.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, go ahead.
Wait, no, go, Jessica.
Well, I was going to change the topic. Do you want to change to...
I was going to say, did you guys, like, feel bothered by the fact that she was locked up?
I feel like it's just normal.
Yeah.
I don't like to say that, but like for historicals, it's like, oh yeah, okay.
They're like invaders and like I felt like that all of that. I was like, I didn't expect anything more from this than that. So
I didn't feel bothered by it because she was like, I'm his just as much as he's mine. Like, he's my prisoner as well because he's always with me. So I was like, it's fine that you're locked up. That feels so awful to say. Go ahead, Jess. What are we going to change the subject to?
The treating her like a falcon. What did you guys think? I mean, because we talked about that before we came on, like the extended metaphor of him like training her, but then like feeding her.
the baby birding of it all was a little too much. Took it too far.
Yeah, that was weird.
I thought it was cute in a weird way, but I actually liked it.
I liked it towards the end when he was like, I'm going to let you fly, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was cute. Like, towards the end. The beginning, when I didn't really get it, like, I was like, this is weird. Like, why do you keep bringing that up?
I love that's how they met.
Oh, yeah.
The music of the Falcon.
Yeah. No, I think I'm just weird. Like, when he was, like, giving her, like, the drink, like, with his mouth, I was like, finally getting to the steamy bits. Let's go. No, we didn't. And I was
like, even when it was going to get to the good part, then it was cut off. And it's like, oh, good, because I can't have you now anyways. And I'm just like, okay. But, like, I feel like that, like, the candy scene, I would have been fine if it was, like, 1 or 2 pieces. He went through every single piece until he got to the 11th one at the end. And I'm like, there's, like, 20 pieces of candy here that you're just, like, feeding her with your mouth. I don't know.
And then there was that one line of, like, I think it was like she was like talking with Simon too of like, I should give him water. And he's like, but why would you want water from a cup when you'd rather it from a mouth? I was like, why?
It was weird, but I thought it was great. I'm just weird like that.
Well, but then they used it for when he was like poisoned and he wouldn't take it any other way. But when she fed it with from her mouth, it was like, oh, now it's working.
I thought that was romantic, Jess. That she was like his medicine, okay?
I can see it that way, okay.
Funny. I think at that point I was just like so like ready for the romance to kickstart. Like I was clinging on to
this very slow burn.
Yeah, it really definitely was.
It was so slow burn, like the whole time. I've started listening to, I think it was like Thursday night or Friday when I was starting to read it. So I read like a little bit every day. And today I was like doing laundry, ironing and stuff like that. And of course, when the one steamy part like actually starts to happen, like my fiance walks in and he was like, what are you listening to? I was like, look. It's not like the whole time. This is the first time. And he was like, okay, like whatever. Like, why does she sound weird? I'm like, I can't explain it. Like, how do I explain this?
That's so funny. No, I had to have headphones in when I was listening to the audio because I had the kiddos like right next to me. They were watching like a Disney movie, and I was like, yeah, we're just gonna need headphones for this one.
Brief segue. Puppy. How's your puppy?
So cute. Do you guys see her? Hold on. Okay, talk amongst yourself. Let me.
Samantha got a puppy, so sorry, I completely forgot about that.
I forgot she did.
Mm-hmm.
I love seeing new puppies.
Mm-hmm.
When Brie got her new puppy, I was like, Brie, send me all the pictures.
Ears that just like so cute. I want another one, but 3 would be too much.
That's how I feel. Like every time I see someone with a puppy, I'm like, look, can we get another puppy? And he was like, I'll get one in a heartbeat. You're the one that freaks out. Another animal.
My old pug would not want like another dog around.
That too.
Just me. I'm happy.
Our cat and dog coexist, so it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like the best of friends. They sometimes go at each other. Like she'll hide around the corner when he comes out, but most of the time they coexist, so it's fine.
It's a puppy. Oh, look at her little tail.
Yeah, her tail.
So fluffy.
Say hi, mamas. Say hi, mamas.
Oh, she is so cute.
Isn't she adorable?
What is her name?
Leia.
Oh.
Yeah, like Princess Leia. My sister named her.
No romance novel name.
I know. I was like, I could have had so much better names, but fine. Yeah, my sister's a Star Wars fan, so that's what she named her.
She looks so soft. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
She isn't. She's so tiny. She's only 9 weeks old. Like, look how small she is. So tiny. Look at her face. So cute.
I love puppies. Oh my gosh.
She has like the puppy breath, and I'm just like snuggle with you all day. We'll see if she sits during the live show. I don't think she will, but we'll see.
Oh.
I love the smell of puppy paws.
It was like really funny because my older sister, she her friend had these puppies at their house, and like she FaceTimed us, and she was like, oh, like shouldn't we bring one home? And I was like, yes, because we've been looking for another puppy because I feel like the dog I have right now, he just gets bored. He gets very lonely, and I'm like, I want him to have like a little girlfriend. And I was like, yes, bring her home. And then my sister was gone for like a couple days because she went to San Diego. And then she just came back like in the middle of the night with this dog in her hand. And I was like, yay. 9 weeks, isn't that a little too young? I don't think so. The whole litter was, slowly given out. So I think she's fine. She's eating regular dog food right now. So
she's fine.
She's okay.
She's so
cute.
Oh, she's so cute. My dogs are both asleep on my bed right now, so.
She just took a nap, so that's why she's like not bouncing off the walls, but she's very, very energetic.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I switched to audio, because I was like not focusing when I was reading at all, because I just wanted to play with her. Anyways, we could talk about books now. I just wanted to show her little face.
What did you guys think of the writing style? I don't know if we talked about that yet. How it was pretty easy to read.
Yeah, I don't know. I think for how thick the book was and like the idea of like medieval romance, I expected the writing to be really dense, but it was more that the plot was just really slow.
Mm-hmm.
So like structurally, it was quite easy to read, which was very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was going to be, I don't think I've ever read anything by Elizabeth Lowell. I don't think so. I think this is my first book. So I didn't know like what to expect, but I just assumed because it was older and some of the other ones that like I've read with you guys that I was like, okay, it's either going to be like a lot and like super wordy where it's like way too much and like you can cut half of the crap out and be totally fine. But I actually like enjoyed. It could have been the audio too, but like I enjoyed the pace that it was written at, and I didn't feel like anything felt rushed or like super slow. Besides the romance, it being slow burn, but I was fine with that part. I thought it was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty easy to read. Like Shana by Kathleen E. Woodward. It was one of the book picks, and that was a chore to get through, like the old style flowery writing. But this one, I felt like it was very flowery, a lot of metaphors, but it fit because of the curse and like the magic and maybe the time period. Like I feel like it wasn't too difficult to read. I didn't have to Google a lot of words.
I don't think she was trying too hard to like make it sound historical. I think that's always like so troublesome when like historical romance authors like are trying really hard and you can tell, and then it just like, what are you like? Why? It's not needed. Like we could go read Geoffrey Chaucer. Like I don't need that right now.
I think after the first like 100 pages.
Yeah, I was gonna say the first like 25%. I was like, they kept going back and forth between Dominic and Duncan. And I had to keep looking at the back of the book, and I was like, "Who the hell is she supposed to marry? What is happening?
Why you couldn't have made them different? I was so confused too."
Okay, at least I wasn't the only one, because I thought like the first half or 20% of the book, I can't even tell you what was going on because I was so focused on trying to figure out Dominic versus Duncan, like who they were and like why it was a little confusing.
But I feel like it being slow wasn't the writing style. It was more just the plot. There was like, I had no idea like where we were going, like what was the point of the book, what was the conflict. It was just 100 pages of like describing her father and like the tension. And like you said, if you didn't read the synopsis, you wouldn't even know like who the love interest was. It was very interesting.
Yeah, they really strung out the like getting married, banging, like if you would have gotten married in 100 pages, banged, and like what else was the book gonna be? Yeah. Like, what else was the plot? I don't know.
Nothing.
They kept using a certain phrase. Well, not they, but Dominic kept using a certain phrase of like, I don't know if I can say it, but the whole like her getting pregnant, like him.
Oh, like his seed?
Yes. I don't know if I can say that or not.
Feel free. We're not on Jessica's channel.
Well, I feel like that is common in historicals.
It is, yeah. But I thought, like, I guess I just thought maybe it's medieval. Like, it kind of played with it. So I was like, it's so old. Like, what else do they have? Like, what else other phrases can they use for that? Besides, like, yes, she's get a baby in her, something like that. I don't know. But I just noticed it in the audio so much. I was like, this is kind of funny.
Even when they had like their steamy bits, he was like, take my seed. And I was like, it's not very sexy. Like, it's not very, like, let's be a little bit more creative or just don't say nothing. I don't know.
I did really like that the second time that they were together, he was like, are you okay? Like, are you hurting? And I was like, for a 1993 historical romance, like, go you, Elizabeth. Like, we're caring about that. Like, I love that for you. Like, thank you.
And I feel like there was like no force on his part with her in any of the intimate scenes, which I really liked because I feel like you said, in that time period, that wasn't always the case. So,
yeah.
The Swedish rock. That's funny.
I swear they use that same phrase in this book.
I think so too.
That exact phrase.
About the scene, it just like I kept noticing it. Maybe that was just like me. I thought it was funny, but
yeah,
and we're like having to listen to it too.
Yeah, it was like there, like blatantly every time it was said. I did like though. Speaking of like their intimate times, there was like I think it was like the first time after that she was like. They had a conversation about it, and she's like, "You haven't really asked about it. It's been a couple days. Like, I heard that like, guys don't want it after a couple days," and he was like, "Half an hour," and I'm good. It's like that's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the audio was just it was so interesting. It was so interesting. Okay, so I feel like they were so stubborn. Like, they were clearly in love with each other, but they didn't say it until the last second in, like, this grand battle scene, which I really liked. I thought was really romantic. But but I was like, really? Like literally the last page before the epilogue is when you finally admit to loving each other. So stubborn.
Well, she was still not sure if he loved her. Like, even when she's kidnapped, she's like, there is no way he's going to come for me. And I'm just like, are you really not smart and, like, not seeing that he really likes you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. She was just, like, adamantly, like, for sure, he's never going to come save me.
Yeah.
I do think, though, like, they both had spies with that, like, group of people. I feel like that was a little too convenient because he's like, oh yeah, then my spy told me where they were. And I was like, what spy? How did he know there was this group? And this group's not related to Duncan. It was like, because it was like Rufus, and I don't know.
Yeah, what was his spy's name? Sven or something?
Yes.
I didn't get that whole thing. Like, he was an undercover spy until he was talking to Dominic, like, telling him what she had said. And I was like, did they mention it, like, during the scene he was captured that, like, there was a spy there? And, like, did she know him? Like... Yeah, that was very, very confusing.
I don't think she knew Sven.
Did she? Yeah. No, I don't think she did because if she saw him, maybe she would be feeling relieved.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the puppy's getting into everything, you know. I keep having to pick her up.
Just looking at you.
So yeah, okay, that part didn't make sense that they had spies and stuff because, like, I feel like they didn't mention that until it was convenient.
That's how it felt for me.
Yeah, I felt like she was like, I need something to fix this. Spy.
Yeah.
That's how it felt.
What I liked about Meg was it wasn't just Dominic, though. It was, like, her whole town. Like, she really just wanted to, like, make sure the people in her town were cared for. And, like, that's what made a lot of her decisions. Like, I feel like she never really changed herself, which I really liked. Yeah.
Especially for her being young. I say young, but, like, being 19. Like, if this was, like, a contemporary or something like that, I feel like she would, you know, like, not know herself or whatever. But maybe during that time period, I liked how she was, like, still consistent of the way that she was.
She was a little too perfect for me at times. Where it was like, okay, everyone loves her. She's like, okay, like, thanks, love that for her. But, like, do we have anything, like, special about you that's just that you're not, like, the best person ever? Like, okay.
No,
like, she's just great.
I think it was like a parallel, like, she was the angel to his devil, even though he really wasn't that bad. Every instance where he could have been a bad guy, like killing Duncan or killing her father, like, he chose to be good. Like, he never did anything, like, to really deserve the, like, all of the people hating him. I think it really was just, like, the fact that he was a different, like, from a different region.
I was also thinking as reading this, I was like, it was so slow burn, and this doesn't indicate a slow burn romance. But, like, I was thinking the scene in, like, that meadow when they first consummate their marriage, I was like, that would have been the perfect step back. Why did we not have, like, this gorgeous meadow scene?
Yes.
I don't know if, like, the artist even reads the book. I don't know. But
I doubt it, because where does the pink sheets come from?
Nowhere.
Do they even have pink sheets? Like, for me, medieval, they think, like, royalty colors. Like, would pink even be a color that they would pick? Okay, I have to take this dog downstairs. She is getting...
Do they have, like, another... I know Samantha has the other version. Do they have step backs for any of the other versions? Do you guys know?
The other books in the series?
No, it's just
the other versions of Untamed.
It's just the pink one. This orange one doesn't have a step back. It's very boring.
Oh.
That one does look more medievally, though, like the sigil thing.
Yeah, but there's no other step backs. That would be so cool if they did, like, different editions, like republishing with actual step backs. That would be really cool. But I feel like when they do different editions, they leave out the step back. Okay, totally off topic, and then I'll go take the dog downstairs. Do you guys like the new Julia Quinn covers? Do you guys like them?
For Bridgerton?
Yeah, for Bridgerton. I feel like they're, like, not historical romance at all. Like, I don't have the one in The Duke and I, but have you guys seen the one for Anthony's book?
They're, like, the people without the faces.
Yeah, like, it cuts off their head and he's just holding, like, the mallet of death or whatever it's called.
Do you mean like this one?
Yes, I feel like that's more geared to get people to, like, look at the story and feel it, like, reading historical romance is more acceptable because it doesn't have the sexy cover. Is that just me, or am I just thinking too much into it?
It looks more like Jane Austen.
Yes. And I feel like it makes it more like approachable, like on like a Target stand or on a Barnes and Noble stand. But for me, I'm like, I want the sexy stepbacks. Give it to me.
Joanna Shoop's new cover, I'm like, yes, please. Can we continue having these covers?
Is it the purple one?
The lady,
The like lady gets lucky. Yes.
Yes.
I'm reading that one
So
this
pretty.
week.
Oh, are you?
I have an arc of it. I don't know how the hell I got an arc, but I'll take it.
Yeah. I am too, Tori. That's on my TBR.
I'm so excited.
I didn't read the first one yet, though, the Heiress Hunt, because I haven't heard good things.
That one, I have that on my TBR too, because I have to read the first to read the second.
Right.
Like my brain, how it works. I have to read both. I can't just pick up one.
No, I wasn't into the hero in the first book, but I feel like I'm more interested in characters that will be in the later books in the series.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like that with this. Like, even though I liked Dominic, like he was good. I don't really care about Duncan, to be honest. Like, he could go like do his whatever.
I
he
like
wants.
Duncan. So.
Really?
Yeah.
I love Simon. I don't know why.
I love Simon, yes.
I'm obsessed. Like
What the staff?
because of that interaction that he had with Meg in the hallway, like outside of his door when he was like poisoned. I don't know. I just loved him. I was like, I want your book. I want to read about you.
And I'm also nervous because I'm going to the step back conversation. The fact that we have the mass markets. What are they called?
Mass Markets Max.
Max, yeah. That I don't know if they'll do step backs with those.
Is that like the Duke heist, that size? Is that what you're talking about?
I don't think that there's going to be step backs for Mass Market Max. I think it's more of just like a price thing. Like step backs are expensive to make.
Yep.
That's why I think it's like only like the first like 10 printings or something that like it used to be, but and then it would switch out to like make, because like now people are buying the book, so now we make it cheaper, so we make more money. I don't know.
But like, how much more expensive is it to put a step back on a book?
I don't know.
When you'll do these like insane embossed covers with like maps on the end pages and sprayed edges for all these other books, you can't put.
Romance does not get the budget that YA and fantasy
right? Right? The amount they will put into these, and then they'll have like multiple editions. Just give us a step back.
Like, what if they, instead of a mass market being like $7.99 or $8.99, whatever it is, like full price now, like I'd be okay if they'd up the price to like $9.99 or $10.99 and put a step back, so I get that. Like, I'll pay for the step back.
The Mass Market Max, I think, is like,
that's what they did. They just made it bigger and made us pay more for it instead of just giving us the extra page. And
I don't even think it's a budget thing. I think I'm convinced that it's like a way to make it more approachable, because it's not like your typical, because so many people have those horrible stereotypes when it comes to like old, like Fabio on the cover or Johanna Lindsay books. And it's like, true romance readers, we want the step backs, we want that type of thing. But an average reader would be more drawn to something that looks more like a Jane Austen book.
The amount of TikToks I've watched where they're like, discreet covers to read your romances. And I'm just like,
no.
Really?
That whole conversation like blows my mind that people care about that. Like, I remember in college, like I would take like books that had like those type of covers to class with me, and like maybe people looked at me, but I'm like, I'm reading it. I don't care. Like, it's so weird. Like, I had a Kindle mostly because like it was cheaper. I couldn't always buy physical books, but like even in high school, if like the cover may seem like a romance book, I didn't care. I still checked it out from the library. Like, why do we care about that?
Let me get my favorite series. And the covers of my favorite series in high school was the chemistry series, where they are like blatant romance covers.
Yeah.
My thing is why would you feel ashamed like reading romance in public? Like, what is the person gonna do? Like, and for me, okay, so if I am reading in public, which is very rare because I don't go out anymore, but if I am reading in public, I feel like no matter what I'm reading, there's always that one person who asks like, oh, what are you reading? What are you doing? What's that book about? So I'm like, if it has a sexy cover on it, like they know. It's there, it's clear. I don't want to be bothered. Leave me alone.
I mean, it's all wrapped up in like internalized misogyny, right? Like it's it's like female centric, so it's like we should hate it and we should hate ourselves because we like it. And I also think like TikTok is like an interesting place because of like the interest in like smut, but like also like we're not gonna show it off. Like be proud of it. Like wave your flag, you know?
Right. And people are reading these books and they're reading smut, but they're like, oh, it's good for a romance or it's good for like a smutty novella. And it's like, really, you enjoyed the book. Why do you have to like put limitations to it? And so I work a lot from home and I always film like right here on my bookshelves because my room is a mess most of the time.
Oh yeah, you say.
And I have like these books. I don't take them down. I don't fix them. Like both of my bosses know I read romance because when I was in the office, I would always read during my lunch. And I have all of these covers. And someone messaged me. I had never even talked to this person before. I don't even know who they were. And they were like, how unprofessional that you would have those books like in a work meeting. And I was like, excuse me? Like, what is unprofessional? Exactly. I was like, how is that unprofessional? They're not like naked on the cover. Like, and if someone is so focused in a meeting, like, exactly, I'm home. And if someone is so focused on what's behind me, they're obviously not paying attention to what's going on in the meeting.
That makes me so mad.
I can't believe they messaged you that.
And
it's only because it's romance. Because if it was like Game of Thrones sitting behind you, they wouldn't have said anything.
Exactly.
When I was in the office, I actually still have to go because we transitioned to like working from home forever. Like everyone's remote now. So I have to go get all of my stuff from the office. But like in my cubicle, I had like a whole section of like family pictures, friend pictures. And the other one was like swag from like different books with quotes and, you know, like the cover off to the side. I had people stop by and then be like, what is this? And I was like, oh, this is this book I read. It's one of my favorite books from last year, this year, whatever. And I guess the way I said it, no one ever like clapped back at anything. But I've always done that, like everywhere that I work, even at Disney. Like when I worked for Disney corporate, I would still bring stuff in all the time. And like, what are you going to tell me? Like, it's not professional. It's what I read. It's what I do at home. Like,
I'm not reading while I'm on the clock. And when the Bridgerton series had come out, like, you know, everybody was watching that series. Everybody was talking about it. And all of my coworkers were like, Samantha, can I borrow this book? Can I get this book? And I was like, of course. Like, it's romance. Like, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. We're all grown. But someone really did message me that. And I was like, wow, I would have never thought that would like be a thing. Like, this would seem unprofessional.
That's so annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, I've gotten comments where like people are like, you can't have a YouTube channel if you talk about romance and you're a teacher. And I'm like, really? But I bet you if I talked about literary fiction, you'd have no problem. So
exactly.
But most of the books that are taught for like a high school English class have some type of romance behind it anyway. Like Romeo and Juliet, like they kill themselves for the sake of love. Come on.
I mean, there are worse things that I read in like high school, like education classes for other content reasons
that I'm reading during my free time in my life outside of school that I have. So
like, you spend so much time and energy to like provide books for your students to read, which I think is so awesome. So for someone to like pick on that just because you're a romance reader, I can't even, but I'll get off my soapbox.
Annoying.
I don't even know how we started the conversation.
I've noticed, though, because I was looking up Elizabeth Lowell, how many of these historical romance authors from the 80s and 90s now just write romantic suspense or like suspense books?
Yeah.
I think that's crazy.
She does now?
Yeah.
She stopped writing romance. I don't even know what the last romance she wrote.
Garwood. She does that. Doesn't Catherine Coulter write?
Was it Amanda Quick?
Amanda Quick.
Yeah. Judith McNaught switched over to like more contemporary books, not historical romance. Then she stopped writing altogether.
I wonder, like epic careers, and then
I wonder if like not back then, but like in the 90s, maybe even early 2000s, romance wasn't like very big in like bringing in revenue for certain publishers. I don't know. That's my guess. And like now, there's biggest moneymaker, I feel like, is romance. But I wonder why they haven't like gone back. Maybe they've made like a whole like other thing with suspense or whatever. That's so weird.
But Amanda Quick still has those step backs and like is very much still a historical romance. Like if you look at the covers for like the other Elizabeth Lowell books, they're like very much like J.D. Robb mystery romantic suspense. Like there's nothing overtly sexy about the covers. I don't know. Yeah, maybe it was like they started in romance and they want to be like more taken seriously as writers, so they switched over because there was such a stigma in reading romance. But it is interesting. Like Hannah Howe, she wrote historic romance and then she wrote some literary fiction. I don't know.
I don't know.
I will say though, since I've gotten into like historical romances, like the end of last year, more recent, obviously because of like the historical romance readathon, my friend that I've been friends with for the last like, I don't know, 10 years or something like that, he's like, yeah, I follow your Instagram. I'm like, okay. And he was like, I see you post all of like the older historical books, like the mass markets and stuff with the step backs. He's like, it just reminds me of like my mom, because my mom used to go get a whole bunch from the library and she would read those throughout the month and she'd leave them around like the house and stuff. And I was like, that's cute. But thanks for following.
I'd be like, I want to be friends with your mom.
I was like, your mom, right?
Step backs.
She's red.
I always like get jealous of people who say like, because my mom reads more like mystery books as well, and I'm like, Mom, you could have like inherited, like I could have inherited all of these historic romances, and now I'm spending too much money on eBay.
My mother had all these in the 90s.
Oh my
Got
god,
rid of them.
that is awesome.
So she doesn't have any anymore. She was reading Joanna Lindsay in the 90s. Diana Gabaldon, she's reading all those when they were coming out. I was like, you could have had a first edition Outlander, Mom. But no.
That is so funny. Tori mentioned the historical romance readathon. Jess, you want to talk about your guys' book club? Not book club pick. What is it? Your group pick.
Yeah, it's I don't know where I even. Oh, here it is. Let me grab it. It is Grace Calloway, who I've never read before, but it is Olivia and the Masked Duke, which sounds like really crazy. I feel like everybody who does their TBR video ends up like reading the synopsis and they're like, oh, I didn't even know like this is what this book is about, because like there's this secret society happening. Isn't someone like a widow? Maybe not. I don't remember. There's a covert agency going on. There's lots of things happening in this book. So I'm excited to read it, though. This is our group pick. And Lacey is actually interviewing Grace Calloway on the 2nd on Instagram. So that's exciting.
Is
is
it the new mass market, or is that like a traditionally like?
No, this is indie published.
Oh, okay. It looked bigger, so I wasn't sure.
Yep. Yeah. We have like 1 million giveaways going on throughout the week too. So look on Instagram for that. We just like planned all of them today, so we're really excited.
Yeah, aren't you interviewing Erica Ridley? Is that who you're interviewing?
I am. I'm doing Erica tomorrow, and then Lisa is doing Lenora Bell on the 2nd. Did I say Lacey's? Lacey's is on the 29th. I'm on the 28th.
Oh, you said the 4th.
Yeah.
The 4th? That's when our live show is. There's too many dates to write. Gosh.
Basically, follow all of them so you guys can watch all the cool content that's going to come out.
Yes. I have a giveaway going up tomorrow, which is exciting.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for the sapphic romance that Erica Ridley is coming out with. Like, I'm so freaking excited for that.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I didn't like the Duke heist very much, just like the way it was, like the plot wise, I was interested when, I think at the end of the book, when it was like, hey, this is going to be
for that. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, that's going to be really
good.
What else? Do you guys know what your TBRs are already set for? I'm a mood reader, so I just have like 2 on my TBR and that's it.
I have like 20 on my TBR and then I'll pick from that.
My book club. Oh, I'm going to be reading The Secret by Julie Garwood.
Oh, yeah, I need to read that one.
For Hot Highlander Summer, is that what it's called? Okay. I'm excited. All the Highlander books.
That is super exciting. when is that end, Dana? For The Secret?
Oh, it's all next week. So
Oh, next week. Okay. Yes, because I needed to add that to my TBR, but I forgot. I always forget like books that I'm supposed to be reading.
what's on your TBR, Tori?
Go ahead.
Oh,
yeah,
my
Tori
books?
was.
Mm-hmm.
I have like 7. I have the one I'm most excited for is Dreaming of You by Lisa Kleypas. Just because I read, well, didn't you guys do Then Came You, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then everyone was talking about Derek Craven, and I was like, who the hell is this guy? Why is he all like talked about? I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna read it. I'm gonna see how I feel about it. So that's what I'm most excited for. But I also have like those 2 Joanna Shoup books. Of course, the Grace Calloway, because I like reading like newer historical romance authors as well. I think that's all I can think of right now. But I have like 7 or 8. It's a lot. We'll see if I get through all of them. Yeah. Oh, Her Night with the Duke by Diana Quincy.
Oh, you haven't read that?
I know. I'm excited.
I started that one and didn't finish it, so I need to finish it.
Oh, it's really good.
It is really good. I've been like in this weird like reading rut. Like I will literally start a book like and get a few chapters in, and then I'm like, meh. Like I've been in the deepest reading slump ever. Yeah. Hopefully this readathon will get me out of it though.
I'm excited. Our next month's book.
Yes.
I'm very excited. I don't know if either of you have read it. I always say the wrong title. Flowers from the Storm. I always say Through the Storm. Have either of you read this one?
No.
I'm excited.
I have no idea what the plot is, but we picked it because I mean, look at this cover. Like it's gorgeous.
I
I
think
was looking at the Instagram.
brain damage.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I've never even heard of that author before.
Laura Quintale?
Yeah.
I have like 5 of her books.
She has some really pretty books.
Mm-hmm.
This one was published 1992.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this will be our next book pick on Jessica's channel. I don't know what day the live show is going to be, but we'll say it on the Instagram.
Mm-hmm. And we're having Rachel from Rachel Reads and Sings, and then Sam from Sam Reads a Little joining us.
Yay.
We're very excited. Does she have great step backs? I haven't seen her step backs.
She does. Hold on. I have her books right here. Let me grab them.
Okay. This is the old cover. There's also the new cover, which I have too.
Does that one not have a step back?
No. Just this. But I love it when they have the like raised text for the first edition. But then it's annoying when you get like a second edition of the original cover and it like doesn't have that text on it.
Yeah.
Does it have raised? Oh, mine does. I have the hardback too. I found this for $2 at a Goodwill. I was very proud of it. The Prince of Midnight has a really pretty step back, and this one is like my unicorn book because it was a misprint and it has 2 step backs in it. I don't know why I did that.
That's so cool though.
Yeah. And then there's this one. This doesn't have a step back, but it's super pretty. It Seize the Fire.
Oh, that paperback I think has a step back.
Oh, does it? Yeah.
I think.
I think this was the first one that she published, like, or at least the one that a lot of people like knew her from, other than Flowers from the Storm. Yeah. But I was happy to find like the double step back because my bookstore, they're haters of romance and they rip out the step backs.
I've seen that happen before.
Makes me
my God.
This one that I bought of Untamed is like, A, it's a library copy, but also they like ripped it out.
Someone probably just stole it from the library. And like,
have you guys ever gotten a library book and they put the stamp of the library like right on the face of the step back?
I was on a Lisa Kleypas one, and I was just like, "Why would you?"
Yeah, one of my, I don't remember which one it was. I think it was like a Tessidaire or something. It was like right on her face, and I was like, "Why did you do that?"
That's the worst.
Okay, totally sidetracked, but I have to talk about this book with somebody. It's not historical romance at all. But have you guys read Pool Boy by Nikki Sloan? Oh my God, guys. Guys, I can't even put into words. Like, this is my favorite book of all time. Like,
Really?
yes, it's an age gap romance. So she's just divorced. Like, she found out that her husband cheated on her, blah, blah, blah. So she's getting a divorce. Like, he cheated on her with like another man. It was very scandalous. Anyways. And she's like really like not confident because she's like entering her 40s. So she decides to get like a boob job and just like do everything for herself. And she ends up having a romance with her pool boy. She's tanning and topless, and she like doesn't realize that he's outside, and then he's there and they have like a really steamy time together. But he's also her best friend's son, so it's kind of like taboo-ish. But it's so, guys, it is so freaking good. I
Did
need
you read the Doctor?
Huh?
Did you read The Doctor?
No.
Okay.
I skipped right to, because I was looking for like specifically like older woman, younger guy age gap romances, because I feel like the most of the ones I read, it's always the guy that's older. So now I have to go back and read The Doctor because it is mentioned in the second book. You can read them out of order, but it is mentioned in the second book.
Is
The
it like
Doctor's-
a book you go into just for the like sexy times, or is there like actually like emotional?
No,
stakes there?
so it's kind of like Birthday Girl, where they have like a really deep emotional connection. They're both really into music. He like is a singer and he plays guitar. I think he plays piano. I can't remember. And she works at like a, what is she, like an agent, a music agent, a manager? She's a manager. That's what she is. She's like a manager for like pop stars and stuff. So they both bond over like music, and their relationship is so freaking sweet. It's very similar to like Birthday Girl. And I loved it so much. I loved it. It was so good.
I'm just gonna.
But it's like so good because she's so confident in herself, and like he's so sweet to her. Everybody needs to read this book. I swear.
I think Lacey talked about that when she did like a summer rec video. She put that one in there.
Her hot
and
girl
I think-
video.
Yeah, and I think Crystal just read it. I think.
Yeah, I saw Crystal read it, and I was like, send me updates right now as you're reading every line.
That's funny. She likes the older woman, younger man too. I know that.
Yeah. So the first book is older guy. He's a doctor. She's his assistant. I can't remember, but she's it's just like Birthday Girl, where she's his son's girlfriend. So it's even more taboo. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyways, that wasn't historical romance, but I didn't film a reading vlog for that book, so I feel like I haven't talked to anyone about it. And I needed everyone to know to read that book.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's late for you guys, isn't it? Is it like 10 o'clock for you guys? Okay. I'll let you guys. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. I had so much fun.
Thank you.
Thank you for including us.
Don't forget to join the Historical Romance Readathon that Jessica, Lacey, and Lisa are doing. Don't forget to join Dana's Highlander Readathon that she's doing on Instagram. And then Tori has an awesome podcast that you guys need to follow as well. I love her podcast. So follow all of them. All of their links will be down below. And we will see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.